Okay, how's everybody doing this evening? Actually, the sun's still out, so this afternoon. We'll just call it this afternoon. And today, I'm going to make another video from the motorcycle. I hope I've got everything put together right. We'll take a little bit of a ride, take you to where the Top Gun house is. The Top Gun being that movie Maverick. I guess it's pretty popular right now. I showed you the house the other day, but I'm actually going to take you there from close to where I live. Not exactly where I live, but close to where I live. So here we go. Make sure that this camera doesn't fall off. If I lose a phone in this video, I'm not going to be happy. Okay, here we go. I think it'll hold. Okay, here we go. On the way to see the Top Gun house. In this video, you're going to see probably some of the most expensive real estate in the United States. I think the zip code we're in 92008 is I think the 5th most expensive zip code in the United States. And I'll show you why in a second. Go to the intersection here, slow down. I gotta get on the brakes better. So as soon as I got the mic, I think I got a mic, so people can understand it a little bit better. Get on it a little bit since I got the mic. Get a little adrenaline rush going here. Okay, better back off. Get myself in trouble. Okay, we're going to come over the EOS little hill right here. We're going to be right out on the Pacific coast, right on the beach, right on the 101. And that's why it's expensive. That's why people like to pay millions of dollars for little junky houses out here along the coast. I want to see that. And you also want to see pretty girls walking along that beach. This could be a little different trip than the other night, because the other night was like 1 o'clock in the morning. This is more of a daytime trip. So you'll just get to see people out along the coast. Hopefully my camera doesn't fall off. If I lose my camera in this video, I'm going to be upset. Because I'll have to wait for another phone, or go buy another phone and get the data, and you'll just be able to fit. If I lose my phone, and people don't hear from me for a while, you know why. Uh-oh, we got some slow pedestrians walking across the street. We always got that. And then we got some people on these electric bicycles that don't know the rules yet. And we got people that are too cautious from Arizona. Right there they are. And we got people walking across. They got 10 seconds, and they use all 10 seconds of it. 5, 4, guy on a skateboard. I'm going to be lucky if I make this. We're on a Harley Davidson, so don't worry, we'll make it. Be careful there, it might start off the wheelie. And yes, I'm 62 years old and I shouldn't own this bike. They tell me that all the time. So, I know. But, that's the ocean right there. This is the 101. A lot of beach houses along the way. We got a ways to go. We're going to go to the Top Gun house. So I'm going to talk along the way. So of course the markets are up a little bit. See where EOS is. Broken $1. I think it's $1.12, $1.13, which is a big increase. Bigger increase than I got to get my mirror straightened out here too. Because people do not recognize. They don't qualify for it. If you're on a bike, they will see it. They'll pull in front of you. Every best in the world. Yeah, but it didn't. Motorcycle. So, over $1, $1.12, $1.13, something like that. There's a place right here called Dino's by the Sea. Dino's by the Sea. Pretty popular. And this is a town I live in. This is my hometown. This is where my kids went to school. I guess not my hometown. My hometown is back in Nebraska. But this is the place where you will find me about 97% of the time. You will find me here at this place, around this area, around this vicinity of which we are driving in right now is about 97% of my time. Maybe 98% of my time. Could be 100% of my time. I don't know. Some weeks probably 100% of my time. I never know, depending on what I'm doing. But most of the time I don't go too far. I'm not a big traveler. I don't like to travel. We went to the hackathon a couple of years ago, San Francisco. Of course, everybody knows Chase is an MMA fighter. We travel to the Midwest for his fights, like to Arkansas and places like that. So, but I'm not a big person who likes to fly. Although I'm a pilot. I am a certified pilot. You can look it up on the FAA exam or FAA Airman database. I have my private pilot's license, so maybe I'm going to get back to one of those airplanes one of these days. But I'm missing that myself too. Now I got the Harley. I think I need the airplane as well. So not that I can afford it, but I can probably get on it. So now we're coming through downtown Carlsbad. If anybody ever knew the guy that owned the LA Lakers, I think his name was Jerry Buss. He had his office right there in that place right here coming up. That historical place kind of looks like it's, like it's got the old trim on it. Buss had his office there with the LA Lakers. And I heard a story one time that he was going down this strip that we're just gone down, and he was in his Mercedes or some fancy car, and of course he was plastered going down the wrong way, and they pulled him over and he got in trouble for drinking and driving charges or anything. But that's Jerry Buss's office was in the second floor of that building right there. That building it's got like a surf shop in it or something. I don't usually go in there very much. I can't even remember the last time I was in there. Of course, that's the Carlsbad sign. I'm giving you more of a tour of the area than I am talking about the crypto market. But the crypto market will come soon. I'll come here in a little bit. In fact, maybe I'll tell a story while we're waiting to get there. Talk a little bit along the way, because we're going to cross over into Oceanside. We're in Carlsbad right now. That's where my kids went to school. Like I said, it's where I hang out most of my time. I usually shoot my videos right down in that street. Right there's the train track that everybody always hears every night when they have my videos. So anyway, I was listening to the call on Wednesday, and I would encourage everybody to listen to the fireside chats put on by the EOS. And they brought up something, and I made a comment during the call, and I don't think too many people noticed it, but they said they were going to start paying for resources on the Pomelo grants, which is a huge, in my mind, a huge deal. Because I remember when I was, I'd find certain projects I like Pomelo, and if people don't know what Pomelo is, it's probably the easiest crowdsourced funding platform there is for blockchains. I've never been on the one. I've played around with the one from Ethereum a little bit, but I think DNF's got that one beat by a mile with Pomelo. So shout out to staff. Thanks for the call, man. You do a great job on moderating this call. So there's the Army Navy Academy. People come from all over the country to this school. I'm telling you, if you want to go to a place to go to high school, right there it is. Right on the beach. Perfect location. That is, God, compared to where I went to school, and that, oh my God. I went out to school in the middle of nowhere. This is the beach, 101, perfect weather, and I gotta watch this circle really, because they make these things so crazy. Somebody's gonna blast this circle, blast into me. Okay, we got a bus coming. Now we are in Oceanside. That's Oceanside. So Carlsbad, Oceanside, and it's divided by this little, I don't know what they call this, like a lagoon, I guess. So anyway, on the call, Steph, who moderates the call, the EOS call, fireside chat, they brought up the point that they're going to start. I see a guy with the freaking bikes going down the wrong walk this way. It should be over there. They got a huge problem out here. There's a lot of people riding these electric bikes. And these kids get these electric bikes and probably like fact, I got one too. I got two of them. You know, they're a lot of fun, but you know, I obey the traffic rules, unlike these kids. I know the traffic rules, unlike these kids. So anyway, Steph was on the call, and he's talking about that they're going to pay for resources for the Pomela grant. So if you want to give a grant to a project you really like, which I always give out tons of grants. It's $1, $2 for EOS, and you know it gets magnified through in the quadratic formula, and they get a lot more money in the end. So I always think it's a great way to build the chain. So everybody that I know or see or looks like they're making an effort, even sometimes people when they're not making an effort, I'll throw them a couple bucks or a couple of EOS. And I noticed the last time that I did that, I ran out of resources, quite a few times. Because the account that I keep EOS in, I sometimes don't put much EOS in it because I don't use it much. Because, like everybody knows, I'm not selling EOS. I haven't traded it. I don't sell it. I don't stake it. I just sit on it. I've been sitting on a lot of EOS for a long time. So I don't keep I don't have stake resources. I don't have CPU and RAM and everything else staked. So a couple times because I was running out of RAM, I was running out of resources. And I have to stake. I can't remember, but I think there's a time period you had to stake before. It's not an immediate thing. It's not like you stake and boom, you immediately get the resources. You got to wait. And I'm going to tell people something that don't know much about programming. Not that I'm a programmer or a great programmer. I am somewhat of a programmer. I had a business for about 10 years where I built websites for individuals, and through that we would use WordPress, and of course we had a couple languages, in the WordPress. We had to code. If we had a trouble with the WordPress, most times we just use a template. But a lot of times we'd have to do some coding to figure it out. Of course, I would try to just hire someone to do it because I didn't want to do it. And 9 times out of 10, I ended up having to go in and fix the problem because they never got it figured out, or the client didn't like it. And then it was somebody on Fiverr and I couldn't find them again, or they didn't answer my call back. So then I would go in there and I'd have to figure out how to, a code or read, HTML or whatever it was, JavaScript or whatever it was that I was doing. I had to figure it out. So the way I figured it out, I just went and started watching tutorials, started figuring out how to build stuff. This is where I got to be done. So I have to be somewhat of a proficient programmer. And programming, everybody overrates. Programming, I read this one time, programming is writing. Well, typewriter is writing like typewriter. So a typewriter is just a tool that you use to write the words down. The thoughts come from the writer. That's what programming is. Programming is like the typewriter. Programming is just the keys that you use. But the thought, the logic that goes into the coding, that's what matters. And that's where it's like a writer. There's a lot of people that can type, and there's a lot of people that can write, but there's not very many people that can write and type very well. I mean, you get very few people that can write, masterpiece, books that are bestsellers or all that other stuff. But there's a ton of people that write, but not very many people are good. That's the same thing with coding. There's a ton of people. Anybody can code. I mean, HTML is pretty easy. You can learn that HTML a little bit, no time at all. Maybe a few days. Most of these languages, once you learn the basis of them, they're all pretty much the same. I used to be pretty decent JavaScript. And I got blue line, didn't even know I was there. And now I didn't even hear it. Gave me the B side too. He had a babe though, man. I didn't have a babe. Oh, man. I'll be restaurants down here are always busy. Man, they are always full of people. You know, and actually it's kind of late right now. It's like 9 o'clock. And there's still a lot of people down here. So anyway, back to the resource problem. What I was talking about the coding and talking about, you know, being a typewriter or being a writer. The problem with someone like Dan Larimer, who is a coder and a thinker too. He has really brilliant thoughts, and he has some not so brilliant thoughts. And we got all uncovered in EOS. I mean, he had some brilliant ideas, stuff that worked really, really well, and some stuff that, I mean, you think that, you know, bubble gummed up, toothpaste together, and was, you know, garbage. And one of the things I always thought that was garbage about EOS was the CPU and the RAM and all the resources you had to purchase in order to do anything on the platform. Couldn't even buy the damn freaking token without first opening an account and staking some resources before you could even have the resources to buy, you know, the EOS, which I thought was a really dumb way of doing it. And of course, we remedied that really fast with our challenge application because we paid for the resources, you know. And of course, there for a while, the resources were ridiculous. I made a video about how we lost a lot of money, about $200,000 on the resources one time when the RAM went up when we were trying to launch our application. Another thing these guys do, they do a lot of lane splitting. I'm not a lane splitter, man. I'm going to stay in my lane and keep my distance from the other cars. I don't need to be splitting lanes. And they do that a lot out here. The first time I was out here and someone was doing it, I think that's got to be illegal. How come they're doing that? And sure enough, that's just the way it is. Everybody's out here splitting lanes. I mean, you're going down the street at about 60 miles an hour. Everybody's sitting still, or some people maybe moving really slowly. You got about, you know, a foot or two between you and the other car. You're going 60, they're going 0, and you're blowing by them like crazy. And you know, you're not expecting someone to maybe open a door or to maybe inch over a few inches, you know, as they move forward. You can't react to that. There's no, it's impossible. Why they do it, I don't know. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. But everybody lane splits. If you're riding a motorcycle out here and you're not lane splitting, you know, everybody's thinking that you don't know how to ride a motorcycle. Someone's got a little car, and they're driving like a little car. So anyway, I always thought the resource model for EOS was completely garbage. And see, this is the stuff the ENF is fixing. They're fixing this thing. So now we can go on Pomela. We can, if I've got some EOS, I got an EOS account opened up. Now I want to just stake a couple or throw a couple of EOS on a project. I don't have to worry if I got the CPU or RAM to do it. I can do it without that. Okay, now we're really getting into some expensive real estate down here at these hotels. So I don't have to worry about that. You know, I can just do it without it. They've already paid for it. It's like we're doing with our challenge application. We've already paid for it. So yeah, I think the fact that ENF's doing that, that's huge. The fact they're paying for resources on Pomela, the fact that they're doing this kind of stuff is great. It's the kind of stuff that should have been done to begin with. You know, and this is what you wonder about when you have like somebody like, you know, Block 1 who puts together, you know, EOS blockchain. $4 billion raised, you know, and they can't even come up with a resource way of buying it without staking it by buying some resources to do it. I mean, and I think Ethereum's the same way. You know, you got this stupid staking thing, or you got a stupid, you know, have to pay for the gas, the ether. I mean, it's just, no one's going to do that. No one's going to go and pay because, you know, you've got server. You know, I understand what's going on. You know, you got to pay for the server space. That's why the block producers have expenses. They got to pay for server space. You know, someone's got to pay for the resources to run the blockchain. Not only that, to store. You know, to archive the blockchain. That's all expensive stuff. You know, so I understand what's going on. So we're going to come down here to this light, take a left, and then the Hopkins house will be right off to the left. I'll see if there's not a lot of traffic. I'll go ahead and make a U right there. If there's a lot of traffic, I'll have to come back around. The other thing I can do is I'll just go ahead and stop and up here someplace, cut the video, and then unless I say everything I want to say. I've got nothing left to say, which, you know, it sounds like that's getting to be the case now. I'm getting to say about everything I want to say. So, yeah, resources being paid for by the ENF, and just the fact the ENF is pulling it all together. I mean, it's like this. EOS was a great idea, dreamed up by a brilliant guy named Dan Larimer, who had flaws. You know, like any other person, he wasn't complete. And the other guys involved with it, they didn't know anything either. None of them knew anything. They paid someone, I know the guy they paid to do the actual typing, the coding, and then it was basically Larimer's ideas, and I don't even think Larimer had anybody else that was even able to kind of like bounce things off with, because the blockchain was so new, so innovative at that time. And who you're gonna block? You know, what's his name? Brendan Bloomer. You gonna bounce it off him? I mean, he seemed like he was too technical. You know, Brock Pierce isn't not a technical guy. I mean, these other guys involved, they weren't people you could, you know, there wasn't a lot of knowledge base. It wasn't just a ton of people that really knew what they were doing. You know, with Darren Larimer, and that was about it. And a lot of hype in the market. A lot of people just going on about how great this was going to be. And of course, you know, with ICOs, which got me involved, I was getting excited because I'd been a stockbroker and I knew what a IPO was. I knew what an initial public offering was, and I thought, wow, initial coin offering, that sounds even better. You don't have to go through all the rules and regs of the Security and Exchange Commission, but you still get to go public. And I thought, this is the greatest idea since sliced bread. That's what I thought when I saw it. So I was all over it because of that idea, and I think that's what about everybody else was too. So yeah, and then finally reality smacked us square in the face. After about 2 or 3 years, we all realized this thing wasn't working very well. And of course the ENF has come in, and of course the ENF, after seeing all the mistakes made, is starting to put this thing back together the way it should have been put together in the first place. And thanks to, you know, their tenacity, we're staying with it and not just throwing in the towel and saying, hey, you know, it's a lost project, everybody hates it, everybody thinks it's the dog. It's 52 right now, or 53 total blockchain market cap. You know, who's going to want to get back involved with this? So, you know, they had a big chore to try to, you know, piece that all together. They've done a pretty good job, in my opinion. You know, I can't imagine anybody doing a better job than what Eva Rose and Zach Ball and the ENF has done, and EOS Nation. I mean, those guys are fighters. I'm telling you. I mean, I've watched them go through the block, you know, being a block producer, the wars of being a block producer. See, look at this. She's not on the green light. She's like your cigarette. So I might have to wait through the wire. This person had to go. So yeah, these guys have fought through all that, and now that they finally got some control over the chain, you know, they are putting back into the platform. There's the bridge, the pier that goes out, and I doubt if I'm going to make it very quickly through this, because this person's on her phone, smoking a cigarette, and she's going to take forever to get through there. Well, maybe not. Better than I thought. So anyway, yeah, I think it's this one. Okay, here we go. It's going to be on the left. It's going to make you motorcycle wild. They want people to hear you. Okay, so right now, yeah, right now, is that it? We're going to have to make a U-turn. Okay, yeah, I missed it. So what we're going to do is, what I might do is I'm just going to make a right turn. All because this video. I'd be driving better from this, so it's not my fault. It's the fault of everybody that's watching this video. I'm trying to make it better for you. Here we go with some of the big bike riders, car riders. There we go. So somewhere along here should be the house tells me what they call it. And right there's the pier. They go clear out through those. It'll be in the next block there. Right there it is. I see it right now. I should have gone at this intersection. I should have gone right. Plus, I wore my shorts tonight, and this bike's getting hot, so I'm gonna have to shut her down here pretty quick. So here we go. I'm gonna go through this intersection, show you the top of the house, and then I'm gonna find a place to park. I haven't seen the movie. People say it's a good movie. It isn't my kind of movie, though. So. But you can see that's the house. I think they sell pies there during the day. You can see a lot of people around it right now. We'll get right in front of it in a second. I'll be right in front of it. Just about the right time. It's probably about sunset. Can't really tell because it's sunset. So here it is. And I don't know why it's such a big deal. I mean, I think it was just in that first movie for a little bit. I mean, I think that his girlfriend lived there or something like that. And he came and visited her one time. And now they built like this huge complex around it. So there's the Top Gun. It's called High Pie. Oh, wow. That's nice. High Pie. And, of course, let me see. They got a motorcycle right out front. There we go. There's the house. Bingo. Okay, I got that finished up. Now I can find a parking spot. Let this bike cool. It's the only thing about buying a bike like this. You got a lot of horsepower, but you got a lot of heat that builds up when you drive it. I hate wearing pants. If it's anything I hate more, I'm pretty going to say no. Anything I hate wearing more is wearing pants. Hate pants. I want to wear shorts all the time. So here, let me see if I can find a spot. I'll go pretty next section. But anyway, you can see these are all brand new. These hotels, brand spanking new. I mean, and like I say, I don't know what they cost a night. But it won't be cheap. I guarantee that. Nothing down here is cheap. Nothing. I mean, I don't care if you go to the 7-Eleven and you buy, anything, a toothbrush, you're going to pay 10 times what you're going to pay for the place that is. Here, I see. It's the wrong way, but that doesn't mean motorcycles. It's everything else. There isn't a problem with it. You can go in the direction you want to go. Okie doke. Well, that's the Top Gun house. And my thoughts on EOS. And Bitcoin's taking a little bit of a run up too. Right there's the train. They're getting ready to load the thing up. I've done it about 1 million times. I love to do that. Every day and every night. All night long, all day long. I'll be hearing it after I'm dead. I guarantee you. Can't get off this thing without burning myself. Okay, there we are. Here's the Harley Davidson. Been in fall getting off. 1200 that we rode down here. I'm going to turn the camera off, take a little bit of a break, and I'll come back in a few minutes. Talk to you later.